Is that it? Of course. That's it. Nice. Really fast here. So it is. So now it's still captured everything. Okay, let us go live. Okay, let us go live now. Just turn it on. We on? That shit coming out clearly and it's supposed to. But I'm just here wasting my time and it's not even on yet. So this is the camera. Where's the center? This is the camera. This is the laptop. This is the background. Right? And this is me now. I'm here. Which is what I was supposed to do. I know, like, what about studio? Telling me to open studio for what? This is my first live stream ever. I've never live streamed anywhere. Unless, yeah, I over did, but that one was gaming. That was different. Like, compared to this one, the mic is a bit far. Now the way I've set it up, it will pick vocals even the most absurd places and the most craziest ways ever. Because like it's a bit of like once you like understand how like the frequencies work, depending on how far or close. Because these are the my keys. I don't want to like be feeling like that. But like I've mentioned it and put it in a way that it makes sense for me. So now this is what I'm seeing the live. Saying wait a bit until it displays. It says excellent. Excellent. That's it. It's coming live now. Right? Wait. Is it choppy? Is it seems here? Because I'm seeing it as so much choppy that it doesn't even maintain the frames so well. But it still looks good. I mean, the most important thing is the audio. So now I like remain mostly in a stable position so that it like records most of it like how it wants it to be. But that's saying now. It's like a thing of the past. Because I love like how good looking it is. So I didn't even put like a number there. Like if you guys can like you have mobile money, right? Like if you want like to send some, let me pin the number now right now, like because we need to get a good camera, right? Yeah, we need to get a good camera there right now. Because why shouldn't we get a fucking camera and you are here watching and doing everything? 7850792 403 785. That's my number. Don't call because the phone is the one that's streaming. If you call, I block you. If you call, I block. Because again, I say that's the number that is streaming. That's the phone that I'm using to stream. So don't call. Let me pin it here so that you can see it. That's how it is. So now I just come here and pin it in a way. Pin it. Unless your message makes so much sense that this is the one that needs pinning here. But for this case here, that's what I'm doing because that's like the basics of it. Uh-huh. Did it pin twice? I don't know, but it looks choppy a bit. So as I say, like what I do now is I just remain in a good posture so that like it even defeats the whole frames shifting in a way. So like it's like I'm always here, but still I'm not there still. But now like if we consider like what this whole setup became and what actually life actually means in a way or in someone else's perspective, like in the perception now of you being you and like someone else seeing them, seeing you in their own perception, that's something that shouldn't bother you in any way. That's what I've come to realize nowadays, that you just need like to just be you, and that's it. Yeah. If I get one viewer, that's it. I'm finally a streamer. If I get a viewer right now, other than me watching, because and how do I get it? Like they get to comment, so I get to see everything. So that's what I'm saying. If they come alive, like I'm a streamer now. I'm doing this on a daily. If I get one in the next 5 minutes, okay. Next 1 minute, okay. I don't need a viewer because this is like my space for me for hosting my views. Because like I came to realize that when I was recording the videos themselves, and now I get like to film it. I get to film, I get to edit, I get to post like a 2 hour video. I can't like the RAM. You know how much RAM costs nowadays? Because now with my 16 GB like of a laptop here, now with the RAM and the prices, now how hiking they are in a way, it's so much crazy because like you have to like spend some time there for you to get that shit on. But still, like once you get hit like up in a good way, it also like makes sense a bit that because that's how mostly I view these things. Because what do you mean a RAM now can cost like crazy amount? Because this laptop that I bought here, it was so much money that I didn't even like. The last time I bought them, there wasn't even that high. Like I bought it now for like twice the price, but now also the performance is better, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like you have to like find the right balance of it in a way, like find the best spot, find the best everything that you have to like, so that everything that you are doing like makes sense, or like it gives like a good deception like for your value, because that's how it is now. You've been told like this one is half the price of what like you usually get it for, but now it comes with extra features. So you just have like, to pay for the extra features, because again, it's not about the money right now. It's about the quality, like what gets the job done in the fastest way ever. So that's how it is. So I don't even know. I just yapped about like a fucking laptop price and hiking and RAM and everything all in one. I'm not considering like the AI part or anything, because nowadays AI is so crazy, and now with how quick it's developing like on every day, they get to be like twice the price, even thrice. Because even nowadays, like the chips, considering like the Nvidia chips, like they are one of the best chips ever. But even like I watched a previous interview, not even an interview, like the launching of SpaceX, the previous one when he became a trillionaire, talking about Elon Musk, when he said that they need so much chips that even Samsung tried to like to get in to help fund and produce more of the chips. But now he said that the chips that they're producing, the output is less actually than what is really required, because they say that what he needs is like 10 times the output and 10 times quantity that is produced right now. So he said like even if he buys this company, he buys this one, he buys all of them, he combines them, like the chips that are needed for like the SpaceX alone to run, it's like absurd amount. It's like the highest number that is there. It's an infinity number that is needed right now. So like that's the gap. If you can like position yourself in there, like if you have any knowledge about like producing the chips in that specific um, time frame or time gap, I mean you are in your bag so far. So nowadays like if these phones like they are producing like this video alone, when I was recording, I found myself that I had like over 300 GB of like videos just sitting on my laptop. And they're not even mass, not even videos like more than a month. So I found like the best place like, to store my videos and storage is just on the software that they created. Because I mean, if thinking of like Teslas, all those things, like all these like electric kind of thing that is like getting put out there and actually becoming the biggest producers of everything. That's how now you get it. Like everything that you need is actually there, but it comes with the actual cost. And the cost can vary. It can be the cost of money, can be the cost of time, can be the cost of freedom, can be the cost of. So now it's you now to decide like what level you have to reach or the level that you want to be for you to get that. And you can find it like it's even the most absurd amounts ever, because it doesn't even like need you like to get involved. But if you find the gap and you just position yourself in there, it can be by many ways. I've seen like even buying the shares. That's it. Like as long as like you're putting in the work. And again, as I was saying, the topic of AI now has brought us to all this. Nowadays, people are making crazy money with AI. Even producing AI videos, AI clips, AI music. AI replaces everything. Even the thumbnail that I put there is generated by AI. So tell me, like, that's why the chips are like less, because can you imagine that good work that the AI is doing? And nowadays, like in seconds, I can just like record a video and it gets online by me finishing, by ending this live. It's live now, it's online, like for it to be sent and done everything. I mean, that's how it is. It sounds a bit absurd, but it's kind of that's the thing. If you get what I mean, right? I mean, and again, it seems like to be a very tricky topic for to dwell on, because that you don't find anything like that crazy of a topic for someone like to speak it loud and like that, because it's like a thought process that you had to actually decipher it yourself and for it to make sense in your own understanding, that you don't even need bodies, you don't even need anything, you don't even need anybody for you to achieve and acquire this level of, the word is not discernment, but it's like kind of close to it, because discernment is like another crazy topic to even think of. I mean, like in a way that you don't even like need to get it, but like once you transcend to a certain realm of this existence, you get like to see these things. Like they get just to open in your way that it makes sense a bit, but still keeping you like in check in whatever you want or whatever you need to achieve in that certain path that you're heading to, or life in that case, because that's how it is. And the topic of the video is it was question and answer. Yeah, still waiting for the questions. But as we wait for them, I mean, I'm still moving. I can't just sit here and wait for you to ask me anything that you don't know of or something that you don't even give a shit about. And how many people are watching my live? I have 0 views. Chat is 0. Um, Concurrent viewers 0. The average viewer duration not much, but we're there in like 15 minutes of the stream. That's like the average now, because now counting like in terms of in bars, like in music, if you count bars, music is composed of like 16 bars, like the standard measure of like every modern music that is there, because a bar is like 4 when you're counting, because everything is like grouped in 4 4. That's why now, even when in speech synthesis, everything that you want, like for it to sound a bit modern, and for you to even like acquire or capture mostly the attention of the people around, just count. I mean, because me, it's not that I'm very smart about like education or anything. Why? Because I dropped out of campus, which I found it meaningless, like crazy. So now me, I'm just here living. So I thought that I would drop and just like fade off and do everything. And now considering those measures that I put there, I'm even better. Not to say that I'm like the best of the best people to ever exist, but I am him though. Like it's like I'm God kinda, because I can kinda like decipher the life through it and create anything that I want, considering that all the knowledge that I've achieved and everything that I'm doing, because I don't need to stop in any way. Like I just keep on going every time because I don't feel the need to, right? And it's not that I force myself. I just live it. Like, and again, as I said, like you have to be like water, right? You can fit anywhere, because in this big whole room, that's how it is. Like I'm just here chilling and just talking, like because these are my thoughts. I love like voicing them out in a way that makes sense and that are like appealing to the ear of the human, because even if you hear this message, it might touch you in a way that you might even consider like, now when it touches you, like there are only two reactions that you can get out of it. Like you can first hate it, which is like the most immediate effect, that is like a snap of a finger. Like once you do that, that's how it is. And the other one is like, okay, we understand what he said is a bit crazy, so you don't need him to talk like that. So what you do now, you feel offended in a way, but who cares about that? I mean, you got to do your shit first, because if you're getting offended by what I say, then that means that you have nothing much to say about you or about yourself or about your situation in any way. So now I'm just like, okay, let me make some more money, let me like invest in this business, let me create more what is it called, let me create more value, like for the people around, like for the overall being, because that's how it is. Like it's out of the like you actually not doing it for yourself, but actually like for the betterment of like the community, like that still rejects you, but you still do it anyway, because it's like uh, I don't want to put like any like religious words into it, because it's like, as I said, it's like a god or something. Like you're the creator now. Like you don't need anybody now. Like you alone, once you get to this type of like level, it's just you and you doing your shit. You and you trying to achieve and convince this one into this. You doing this, that. I mean, it's just basics of it. That's just how it is most of the time. Because even when you're considering like coming out, take a second example, like when I was in middle school, I had like to carry like whole value or the class at my back, because I always felt like I had more to say, like I always deserved more, right? Because I was always consistently building this. That's how it is. Like I never felt like the need, like to actually like be out of there or try to achieve something. What is this life saying? I mean, you'll have to bear with me with the videos. So I didn't make the internet connection. So like that's how it is. So the video might be choppy, but who needs to see it? I mean, you can even turn it into audio. I mean, after me, probably after this, I was about to say maybe, but I'll probably turn this, not even probably, I will turn this into like an audio format so that we don't need to watch, because if you are watching, you just play it in the background, let it play, because it's so crazy. That's how it is, like, because it's like I'm creating like words, something that you never had before, but now in like an imagery form that makes a lot of sense to then like, if you are considering, like, let's say an example, like this is like a booba channel, right? When you saw it, you didn't know whether to click it or not, but something just pushed you just to click on it to see like what is he saying, like why does he have an opinion on this matter, like which topics he's even talking about. And now you come here, now you get lost in a loophole that now you can't get yourself out of, because now you let yourself in that, and that's not your fault, because this probably will open like a bigger door for you to acquire or achieve like greater successes in your life. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't all need to be like checked in a bad way or in a bad format for it to make sense. You can even look at it like in any way that you want, but as long as it benefits you or anybody around you in a way that it gives the impression of like movement, that's how it is. And again, as I said, you can try to reconsider everything back to you and decide for all your life what you want. But as long as like you wake up every day, that's a plus. I mean, you're still moving. You're not stagnant or anything. Every day is a plus. It doesn't matter what it is. That's how it is. Every day you're like just pumping it, pumping it, pumping it. But now again, don't stress you so much about pumping it that you forget yourself. But again, when you're pumping it, you're being yourself, which I even like try to measure this thing in a, according to like how great of an impact most it has done like to the whole community of everything. And now you come and realize that you're not even like something that you can do, or something that you can like try to be safe or this. I don't know why it turned off. Let me allow me. Allow me. You mean this thing can just shut off? What? Did this thing just turn off on me? It turned off on me. Should be back in a few now. Yeah, it even looks better. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't even need like to live in any type of box that you are boxed into this. Because now me, I chose this, so that's why now it kind of like tries to disturb me, right? You can see I'm just streaming and now it decided like to switch off. So it's kind of the problem that you make yourself, but make them useful to and meaningful to only you and you, so that like you can come and acquire something good out of it. And it's so crazy because as long as you are doing it, That's how it is. And in the past, like people tried to tell me that I'm a psycho in any way. But now looking back at me, I'm like, no, I'm never a psycho. Like that one doesn't even exist in any way. Because if I'm me, like it's just me. And I get like their point of view saying that I'm a psycho too. Because who wants like this is something foreign. This is something that is never seen. This is something that we never saw or experienced ever. It doesn't matter. So now they see me going up. All they do is like try to hang like on your clock like a little child. How they hang like to their mother now. Like we we have seen this and but we don't want it to go so much far away. So let's just hang around it. Let's see how we benefit. But now if like you see it also in that perspective, that makes sense. And now you can also shift your whole perspective and be like, okay, he's doing something great. But okay, I don't like his tone, I don't like his teeth, I don't like his mouth, I don't like his eyebrows. But at least it makes sense. But I still don't like him, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like you don't need to like anybody. Just to appreciate what they are doing. Like, just do you. I mean, they didn't even need you in the first place. So I don't think whether like you can need them in any way. And again, that's like the basics of it. That's the biggest thing that you can ever do. Let me first try to get this thing working here. And to see if it's still on. What is this? Oh, it's still on, but it's kind of telling me something about it being poor. Poor what? I don't even think like it's saying poor in 28 minutes in. That's a bit crazy. Is the problem the internet? Do you need to connect like the Wi-Fi cable here, or what is really needed here? Because it just can't do that. I have to find a way for it to make sense very quick. Even if it means like buying the Elon Musk shit, what is it called? The one that connects up to the sky, the Starlink that connects from space. If it means purchasing that, for me like to stream in the best quality ever, that's how I'm going to do it. But it's kind of back now. It looks like it's rolling again. But you see, still, I didn't like quit or anything. If it wants to play, it will play. Me, I'm just like chilling. I don't even need it, but right, I can even decide to end it right now and just do another thing. But that's just me. Like it's not at all. It's a must for me, like to do it here. Let me even take this one a bit closer, like the microphone here. I can put it here so that now everything is kind of audible for me. And the things that I do, that's how it is mostly. I don't even like try to explain a meaning to it because it doesn't even need to have a meaning first of all. Because like once you attach like a fucking meaning to it, it's like kind of stagnant, kind of blurry in a way, kind of like limiting for you or and for everyone around you because nobody needs that right now. Like just exist in the moment. And that's why like you are able like to maneuver in any situations that you are being put in or that you find yourself in. And again, yeah, like outdoor activities like crazy. Like I can go like riding the whole day and still come back home feeling good because that's like not a task to me. That's like an experience. Like I can go off-roading all the way. I can do this, I can do that without even feeling the pressure and the need like to move in any way that I want. Because I know like keep changing. changes of the color is what makes it move and like makes it recognizable. So you can just get stuck in one thing. But now the process of evolving is the craziest thing ever. Because now you just like put in the effort, put in the work now. And again, considering like when you're doing it yourself, it's kinda hard to because the technical support that is needed, it doesn't matter what support it is, because that's the most important thing. Like you actually need a team for you to keep going. Not I'm saying that you don't need a team. You need a team like, to boost you up because it's like a chef, right? You need someone to cook for you. Like when you're doing this, when you're done, the food is ready. You need things delivered. That's why like nowadays there's Amazon. If you need that, there's like the food places. They even deliver that because you can't do this on your own. Even if you need to or even like you want to. But now you can do the best part for yourself, which is crazy because that's what you need. There's a difference between like what you actually need and what you want, right? And most people like all they know is like what they want versus like what they need. And later like reminds you very quick like what you actually need. So you get tuned in like to that frequency of the nature and everything of what you need actually more than like what you want, which is like the big separator in everything. And that one can like hit a bell and like just chill and everything because it's not even a must that like, you have like an answer to something immediately. Like you just click on later, which is so crazy and like so good. Like once it happens, it like opens up like a new many windows, right? It's like let's say without even sounding like you have like to come and conquer or be or like to see for you to like perceive it in any way. Because again, it's about perceiving things that you can tell that it makes sense without actually you being perceiving or actually you being needy about it. But you just live in them, like flowing with it. Because and again, like you actually like so I feel the need at times for you to feel lazy, which is so crazy. But it depends like on the what type of um need that one arises and like the gift that it gives after, right? I know it sounds like a bit a tricky concept for you to try to decipher all this, like because now thinking of social media nowadays is so crazy because the only thing that is needed there is just for you to like exist in the community first of all, right? Because that's how now like you get cut a slack of it, which makes sense. Because without that, everything doesn't make sense in any way. So you're just like chilling, living, existing every single day. It doesn't matter. As I say, like this thing, it comes like with many benefits, and like many rewards to it. Like when you're just putting in the work every day, you knowing actually what you have to do, and like the process of evolving, which is so crazy and like the biggest things of all that you can do, which feels also like the most rewarding ever because they are actually once you think of it like the most craziest thing that you achieved, you actually put in the work, but not all of them. I'm saying the most, right? That's why even like when you recall something, like if I have like a convo with someone, let's say like if I meet like Elon Musk, like I just talk to him as normal without having anything in common or without feeling like the need for me like to please them. I just be like, hey, this is it. And like, I move on. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I move on. If I meet like let's say like Trump, I just talk to them, hey, I move on. Like this, I'm just saying, like it doesn't even actually need to be that needy because again, think of it as yourself. Like, when someone comes to you as needy, you actually don't need them anymore. So you're just like there because that's how it is most of the time. But don't let it confuse you because most of the things that the ego gets in your way, you start now like your brain lies to you because again as I say, psychology is the most craziest thing that can ever happen. Something that you can ever like try to decode like in the whole human experience for it to make sense. I mean which makes sense, I mean too. That's what it is, like the biggest of all. What I'm saying is you have to find like your own meaning to everything that you do. Because if I had planned like to design this shirt, which is like a pretty basic design of it, right? And so like design with a beanie on top, right? This design by itself, I worked for it. Like I put in the work for me to like for it to make sense and for it to come alive and look this good, right? So yeah, that's how it is. Like the design scene, yeah, everything. You see that that's a design. See like the background. I need to make sure like it feels like at the bottom, gives like a frame or something. So that now you can like decode it in the most basic and the most memorable way, like for you to come back again because it's something now you attached to, like you saw the design, the swag in it. So you saw life, right? It makes a lot of sense though because that's how it is. Even when you're running back like to the kind of music that you listen to, it's like you're not listening to music itself, like you're relating with a certain atmospheres, certain experiences that you face or you're facing, like in real life, but it's all happening just in the head. Your body can be just chilling, but when you're just doing it, like it makes so much sense. As I say, that's still work that you're putting in because like the brain triggers everything, like even if it's like the most ticking on like the cricket at night, you can hear it very sharp. But now like once you stop concentrating on hearing it as noise, you know you start like to tap into it, like to the balance and the rhythm and actually the cadence that it's doing. You get this cool breathing to it. It brings life and everything that you can now play around with, leave alone just through hearing like the cricket noise. You can even tell like how its wings are moving now, like how its legs are, like the situation that it is in. That's why nowadays they say like you can't read mind, which I find it's completely like the opposite of it. You can read the mind so quick and so easily because you just like have to like be in a frame for you to observe. And because like the body sends signals back, so you're able like to receive it in a way that makes sense to you and only you. You can't even explain it to someone. That's why like when you're sitting in a room with someone, you just know, you can tell like what they're thinking because it affects you in a way. So what I'm saying is that you don't see it like in a negative way or any way because but if that's the case, like you need to tell them, hey, that's not it or change your behavior because like this one affects everybody around. It makes a lot of sense. That's it. And you can try, you can yap what you want, but that's like the basics of it. Not trying like to sound like a being judgmental or anything because that's what I've been done my whole life. Like everybody told me that I can't do this, I can't do this. But actually then when you look at their life, that's the iniquities that now that they're facing. So now that you have now to try and leave them and try to understand them it's the biggest mistake you can do because now you put like your life at stale now. Just be there, nothing else going on. So you don't actually need that energy of like stagnation in any way, which is good, but they'll try to silence you in any way, but you just don't listen, right? Because you're listening to the silence, and once they are telling you that, they themselves they are speaking it loud while you are sitting there now listening. I'm not saying that you don't ever listen to anybody or in any way, but what you're listening to should make sense to like that you have to measure to see like which part it affects you in any way or any like certain situation that you are put in or like you find yourself in because again you can't decide like where you find yourself in like you didn't decide to be born but now you can make and create your whole world around it because as it was created for you like you being presented into the world so now you can come and decipher all that and internalize it and see like, hey, these are the gaps that I need for me to get to this level. So like you just identify yourself with something. Like if you are a comedian, like you must entertain people, which is so crazy because right now with the current social media, people are feeding like the most short form content ever. So the attention span, I mean, I saw like on Google the other time it was saying it's around 3 seconds, which says the lie, of course. It's like 1.5 seconds, like the blink of an eye. That's how the attention span nowadays has gone to. I mean, they say that the biggest addiction was gambling. They said it was cigarettes. They said it was this. But actually nowadays, it's actually social media. That's the biggest thing right now. Because now, if you can like get their attention span in the craziest and the most fastest way, like you get to keep them. And remember, there are like 8 billion plus people in this world, and every day, even right now, there's someone who's getting born and they get fed into the social media shit. So just get, I need to drink some water. I know that shrubing is a bit crazy. Which can make a lot of sense too, in a way that makes sense, right? That's just the basics of it. And again, that's the best form that you can be in. That's the craziest um, situation that you find yourself in that you can't even like try to get yourself out of rather than to like just push on. Do it. Doesn't matter. Do it. And now with that, now you get like to experience your whole life all alone by yourself because you're the only one who knows it the best. And only you can relate like to where you've been. Even like the twins, like people are identical, like they completely live 2 completely different lives. I've seen them because I mean I've seen them like in the family, right? I've seen them in the society how they're living, right? And now the biggest thing that they try like to evade is them being classified as one, which is so crazy. Because that's how it's supposed to be. They're only identical like in the face, just like musicians. You know them like by just that they sing or that they rap or that they do anything, right? So now you put them, but now the messaging in it is so different. It's again as I said, anything that you can communicate something out of, like you can actually sell it. Doesn't matter. Even like these headphones, like I can sell them to you, like in the terms of like Beats by Dre, right? Like he used to make, I don't even know right now, but his headphones were a bit crazy. it better. I mean, the bass was crazy. I mean, I had like a pair of them back in the day, right? So they say now you can sell everything, but Dre now just makes music. Now he communicated value like in physical product, which makes sense because now if you can achieve like the talent like of you being great, I mean, communicating value is the smallest thing you can ever do because that's just it, right? Like you just don't get like stuck in one thing, which makes sense. In most cases, that's how it is. I mean, someone might not love like the way I speak or like my way of delivery or anything, but they'll always agree to like to a certain sense or a certain degree of what I'm saying, which is so crazy now. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't actually need to be tied up there, right? I know this one even acts like the mic, so like I'm putting it closer to the mouth and everything, so that I can play with it in the best way that I want, right? And now it even comes out clearer and everything because like I just did it. I can this way make this one my whole purpose about this video now. I can even now end the video because I found my purpose now. Like play with the audio frequencies of this mic for me to sound like I'm moving in and out. Sounds a bit crazy though. It's a crazy concept once you think of it. But again, that's just how it is. Like you can't actually know when or what to do in a certain like frequency of so much that is going on in the world that everything else that you just do right now doesn't even need to like come out or like make sense in any way. You just need like for you to just come in because that's how it is. But the craziest thing that is now is nothing. Don't ever put too much pressure on you, like trying to achieve milestone that someone put them for you. But if you put like milestone for yourselves, just it. That's how you achieve the best of the best. Doesn't matter, like as long as we're doing it every day, right? That's just how it is. It doesn't make sense. And I don't like the camera being there because it blinds me in a way. The flash is too bright. I'm not used to it. I don't think I'll be used to these lights. It makes a lot of sense. So, right. You can even turn this off. Let me see how it looks. It looks better. And the blue looks worse. So that's how it is. Like, you just need to be free. You just need to be awake for you to see life for what it really is, because there's no script. I mean, someone put the script in there for you to work through it. That's what makes like life so amazing right now, because now at least you can see people putting the scripts in and the scripts coming to life. So that means you can do it too. Like it's so crazy because you just have like to be so brave enough and like to look at it like for what it really is, for you to tell that this is it. No one can ever like tell it to you because they'll be lying to you. Like they want to put you back. They want you to exist as they exist in a way. Right? That's how it is. It's the most basic info you can ever get, but still the most trickiest one, in the most basic sense. Because nowadays, like when I was learning even about video editing, I came and realized it's like kind of useless nowadays. Because actually AI took everything over. Like I can just upload this and it does everything for me. It edits them, it posts, brands, markets. You don't even need to pay for ads nowadays. It's like self-promotion of it because people don't come here like to watch like the content. They come here for an experience of it. you can even like be the best of the best that you are doing, not because of what you are selling, but because of the brand. Like if you know like someone like is doing an interview with me, you'll be so prompted to come and check it out and see like what views or what I have to say, to see like if they censor me or not, because that's the only thing that you can come here to do. There's actually nothing else that is there, right? But still, you're coming in, someone adds numbers, so it puts money in my bank too, so everybody benefits by you being Snoopy, or that's what I call it, but now that's not the case. It's just you finding more information and purpose, like to reach out to the next, to your next level. Probably this one, someone will benefit from it, and I don't know them, and I don't need them to bring me back anything. I mean, unless they are billionaires or millionaires and they want to put something small. I mean, I wouldn't say no to like some cash, you know? I mean, some money, because I also need to pay bills. I need to take care of the family too. I need to take care of myself. You see how I say that? I put myself last. But no, that's not the case. It must first pass through me, right? It's like I'm the coordinator, like, let's say an electrical circuit. There's always like the live wire, which is actually, is it red in color? And then there's the black one that actually they say that it doesn't have colors. I'm not an electrician, so I might get it twisted a bit, but that's the basics of it. That's what I'm saying, right? So yeah, that's just how it is. And is this video still choppy? I don't know, but it looks good. I mean, probably to catch up later. It's like how many FPS, how many frames per second? I put at 60 frames. That's fine. Probably it's the internet. I don't know. But I said this one doesn't even need audio because you just need to listen to it. It creates like a mental image to you. But if you need like to look at the character itself, that's when you actually need it. But who knows? In the near future now, I'm not saying like in 10 years or something, I'm just saying like in, let's say like 3 months or 6 months, probably it will be like the best of the best ever. Because it's like writing a book. You first start being a writer and then you proceed and now you become like a publisher and all that and everything. But you are the original idea nowadays. Just like people, when I see them confusing like writing and actually like using AI, AI just gives you like generic like content everybody has, which like the algorithm considered as AI because it's the AI that makes it, the AI that grades it. But not like once you put something that AI can't like replicate in there, that's it. Like it can never reach to a level of thinking because again, but someone like you made AI. I mean, as you see me, this is not the skin that made this whole internet. It's not this color that made the internet and everything. It's probably a different color, so it puts like its own knowledge there. And now this one here has its own now. So now I use the same info. I take it and put it on this other side. Has this video stopped again? I don't know why this video is playing. It's playing with me. It's a bit fire. It came back. Probably did. Let me turn it on the flashlight. Because it must make sense. Yeah, you stop like putting off the camera every 30 seconds and shit. Or it has a timer to it. I don't know. It looks fire. Like one of the best things right now that's happening is just me being me. Me trying to look at it in like a logical way, a logical place, Because I don't like yesterday I tried to stream, it didn't allow me. But now I try to stream with the desktop. I mean, it gave me 24 hours. You see, someone actually put the timer in there, like, so that it can show you and tell you like this is it. Like this is what you are going to do now. Like you have to wait. And again, I said like they try like to humble you or take you down, push you a step forward, like because that's how it is. That's generally like life. It's again like as I'm saying, like a male is called a he goat, right? Where he's one to come and pounce at you and push you like fast, moves back so that you can like sprint up for you. Just like on my knees, that's why the legs look like this. So they can like hit you and box you. Just like, I just thought of like Mike Tyson and everything. So I think the greatest like of all time boxers, right, is actually like not how hard he punches, but actually how like he can withstand the punches every time. Because like once he's punching, like you can see the grit in him. You can see the grit in him. You can see Conor McGregor. You can see everything that he's doing. You can see just the grit, which makes it amazing though. Which is crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like for the greatest podcasters, you can tell by Joe Rogan. He's like one of the best at what he does. He actually like voices out like your thought process and everything, which makes sense. And you can like come and reflect and look at it back later and be like, this is a genius. But the actual process behind it, you don't see it because it's like kinda there, but for the small mind to come and figure out what this really is or try to like come out and give like a good full sentence of like what actually happened or what really is being talked about in there, which is so crazy and amazing at the same time because now shit, that shit ended. Let me first um, this live wants to kill me. Look at it. Coming back in a few. Okay. 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 at it. Let me look at it. It looks better. Is the mic on? Yeah, the mic is on. Everything. It looks good. The camera came out clearer. So you can just adjust it here first. Without having to worry about anything. It's still on. On. It looks fine though. Right. Bro. You hit once to it just fell. Because of nothing. It just fell. You set it up first. Good. Wow. It's still down. It needs to go up a bit. Needs to go back a bit. We're still live first of all. It must be live. So, put it like that. Then it doesn't try to fall again. That's better. That's better. Looks good. Yeah, it came out clearer. It came out when I pushed forward. But it looks better overall. Let me just see it on the official loading screen for YouTube. If it comes back, let me go somewhere. It looks better. It hasn't loaded yet. Oh, it has come now. Oh, we're back online now. So now I can just sit in a good way, like that the camera faces me. Look at this here. Yeah, it looks good. I'm on the side of it. That looks nice now. Like I'm at the middle. I'm at the middle. The most middle part of it. Yeah. Yeah, we're good now. I don't even know the topic. Because I have no topics, I don't let anything define me. I can just, it's like I'm a rapper now. I freestyle everything. But at the days when like I don't even think like rappers used to write anything unless like you want to keep like points or a plan for you for it. It's like a business. Like I still write because I said it's like a musician or something, which makes sense. But now you only write for the big plans, which are like if something is big, something is big. It's not defined by how big it is or what big really means. It's just it's big. If it's big, it's big. Just like the camera falling, that was big. But who cares? It just fell. It didn't have a reason to, but it just fell. Shit happens, right? So that now means that the holder now is the missing link here. The lighting is fine. I mean, nobody cares actually about all the visuals part. Only the person who is like interested in making it good is the one who gives a shit about the visuals. But in actual sense, people just want to hear like your voice. But nobody gives a shit because everybody has their own shit they're dealing with. So like in this side, because now this is what I'm good at. So I make some parts of the world like they haven't like solved an issue of that shit just ended. And now in um the next me going live, I don't even know anything. Like, it's good now, it's live on air. Even the audio, as I said, you only need the audio, you don't need the visual actually. Because it's like animation here, like it's like an emote that I'm playing. They make this one interesting, but like just showing some gestures and everything. That's what makes it so cohesive, even what I'm saying or what I'm about to say, or even like what I'm looking at. Because I can like decode everything in like in shape form, in like in the setup itself, in everything. I do this thing because I'm just me. Nobody can do it better than me. You can tell by how like you have to transition between this one scene while still handling the rest of it in a way that it actually comes out to be like the biggest one. Those should like considering one of which being like one similar and the other one being like one which is like kind of old in a way that makes sense, but still not coming out. But still when it's coming out, like it makes beat or it counters the old part. That's how it is now. You just like be there and just keep on going every day. It doesn't matter like what this one is or what is going to be actually because that's just basics. You don't even actually need to hear anything. So just the whole type of I don't know what was even about to say, but it makes sense. Yeah, that's what it is. Like just like living and try to play with this thing every single day. For it like to come up with all this crazy and all those annoying things. Because all I can do is that okay, I love it, okay, I enjoy it. So what next is like I need like to create like a good environment for it so that like it can all come back and like try to decode everything so that later maybe in the process if I'm doing it, if I'm not doing anything later, like it can all add up like, because that's how it is. You can even cry and cough, but that's just how it is. You can all laugh, you can all do that, do this, but at the end of the day, it's just the end of the day. Like it doesn't have to be like something that makes sense or anything. as I say, like I don't actually need to make sense in any way. I don't need to be understood because like you understand me, like you get me wrong. As I say, I don't need that kind of energy around me or around the people that I actually work with, people that I actually care about because deep down everybody does that, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter for you to come out and voice them out like as they're supposed to or as they actually should because in that case that's how it is. I don't know, right? So now you just like be there and do this thing every day like without feeling the pressure. And if it's time to take a break, like you just do it any day. Doesn't matter. You can even be the greatest of all, but that's just how it is nowadays. You don't need actually anything, but if it comes your way and you actually find it makes sense, and it's actually good that you can put like everybody on your shit that you started because that's the only way that you can actually add people in it and like not feel like a baggage or something. That's how we do it. It doesn't matter. Like, so now you're doing this and you're trying to come up with other things, still having this one in check. I mean, the topic that I just say now, you can fill in the gaps with any topic that you want without like whole frame that you just put in there and it all makes sense. You can take a word. Okay, let's take a word. Let's take a word like scissors. Okay. What about scissors? What can scissors really do? Right? You know that they can actually made of steel, right? So you start defining by what they do, not by actually what they really do, but actually by the functionality of it, right? What makes it possible for it to function. Okay, scissors can be of plastic, okay? That's number one. Scissors can't be like of feathers. So scissors are made of steel. I did not say I know what you want me to say, but one still comes on later, like that's the icing on the cake. And again, as I say, that's now the most part they hold on to you now. They get you just by it so that you don't think deep or further against that. Because if I say like the handles are made of plastic, you'll be like, no, like whether they are made of plastics that they can do. I'm like, chill, I'm coming there, but I don't actually need to say it because you know, like, I just cut you off, right? With your wording, just stay there. Like, it doesn't make sense because I don't need to say it. Like, I just create an image of it so that you can see it and feel it. Actually, it explains everything about it. Let's pick another word. The letter A. I know it's random, but the letter A. I have no idea about the letter A. So what does it do? I don't know. I'm just amazed. I don't know what it means. It has no meaning. Actually explained everything. All I know is that there are two types. There's the small and the capital. So they both have spaces in between. And the larger one or the capital one looks like a ladder or something. The small one looks like something that is rolled off like a tape. You open a tape and you just roll off the ground. It creates the letter A. When it's opened, right? That's it. I don't need to know anything about letter A. I can put like a visual in the letter A without me actually saying it's letter A. That's how creatives do it. That's how you come in from like these big architects, like the big buildings. Take an example of like Burj Khalifa, like the tallest building in the world. I don't know if that changed because nowadays the infrastructure is getting out of hand nowadays. The best buildings ever, the best hotels ever. So let's say you're like in the most topmost floor, I don't know which one, like 1,000 plus floor. you're on there, like you're actually on space, because that's not humanly achievable, like for you to reach that level just by not using anything, and just being human. I'm not even talking about like a jet or something, right? That's just the basic. Talk of something like a submarine. I don't know, I got into cars, but that's how it is into machines. These are things that people may like. They measure like this thing can go in water, underwater. And still the temperature and the pressure is good. And most importantly, that people can survive in it. I mean, and people who mostly use it, like are the tactical ones, because you don't see yourself like you being able like to get in there. That's why like you haven't created that mental image of you being in one. So you can't think of it, or you don't even know what a submarine is, but it's just a ship that travels underwater. Like, because nowadays you see them like as the army that they use. You see them like government oriented or something, which is a crazy concept, because once you now you put your brain into that picture that it's only the government that can only achieve this, everything just fades away, and that's it. And now you ignore everything else, because now that's like a learned stimuli that you are used to everything now. As I said, like I give image to everything, not about like the shapes or all thing. I take this thing, but now I put like what I know actually in it for it to make sense. It's a crazy concept. Like once you come and try to decipher it in your whole state of mind, which is a bit crazy, and which also like you can try to be like in a kind of a situation, because that's how just it is. It doesn't have actually a meaning to it, but just try like to make it make sense to your own knowing or your own words. Like me, the first time that I started, like I just named anything around me, anything and everything, and it's so crazy because that's just how it is. If we take an example of like the wall behind me, I'm not checking about the color, no. I'm checking like how flat it is. The wall is flat. I mean, I'm talking about the one behind me. So I'm not saying that there's nothing. Like, of course, there's a wall, but it's flat. Okay, what else can you say about the wall? It's not hard. It's not colorful. It doesn't have the color, right? I'm not talking about those things. I just said it's flat. It's flat. So I don't want to like get into a perception about the wall, but that's just my view of the wall. You can see it as how you want to, but not on my end. That's how I see it. So it's just crazy, and it's so crazy because you can just play around with these things, like for it to make sense in a way that you enjoy doing it in a way. And also, like one of the smallest holes in this world, as I'm seeing right now, I know you can't see like the smallest of like a speaker. Until this day, I still wonder like how they were able like to convert like the electrical energy into like technology form by the use of just magnetic fields. And nowadays the tech is everywhere, even the watches that we wear. That's how it is. You don't even have to like be something tangible or anything. It can be something that you just chop, or you can just see, or you can just taste, or you can just do anything with it. As long as like it makes you feel good, as long as you can see the sense in it, as long as you can try to decipher like the process that it was actually meant, the process that it took, like the idea that someone came up with it for it to make this one look this way, like the idea that he had for it to look like the way it is actually. It's so crazy because that's just it. It's the basics. You can't even like try to count like the ultimate numbers or anything that is in the universe. That's how I see money nowadays. It's unlimited because in every second there's a new note being printed. Doesn't matter. And how we value it is depending on how valuable you is. Because I can say like the biggest currency nowadays is Kuwait dinar. I don't know. Is the Kuwait shit? I don't know. Probably yeah. But I know that it bet the dollar though. I know that's the only thing that you can compare it with. Because the dollar is the most popular, so it's almost at par with it. Not in terms of currency, but in terms of popularity, right? Because I say that you can be the best at being this, but still someone will still be the best at being the most popular. And someone fresh is still getting in the industry that you in, or that you think that you ventured all along. But in the way someone created this thing to patronize mine, this is like completely different because as I said, you can create like a mental image of it. Once you create like a mental image of it, it's completely yours. You can monetize it, you can sue, you can do everything. But nowadays, like in artistic form, it's so crazy because artists are so diverse and so neutral that they actually make art and they forget. They get inspired by it, but if you try not to come and make me remind about my art that I did earlier while I'm still like doing more right now, like have you seen what I'm doing right now? So that you can tell me to look back like at this. Have you seen what I'm doing right now? So that you can try to like box me in this like one cool box that is there. Have you seen it? You can't, of course, because you're not me, I'm not you. So the things that you see about me, you might see me like this New York Yankees, like the cape in it, like the bean in it. You only see it as black and with a logo. I only feel the fabrics of it. So it's different, right? You only see this one as like a sweatshirt in it. I see it as warmth, right? I mean, as I say, this thing is so crazy that you just have to be so good at looking at things in the two both ways that they make even more sense to you. Like you just living and just existing purely without being judgmental of anything. Because that's how now you come up with all these big plans. Like if I want to achieve this, I can do this, I can do that. I mean, that's the basics. You can tell. That's the basic of everybody. But no me I said I don't want to be that. Like let me just be different. Let me go out there. Let me try to conquer anything that comes my way. Because I know myself, like where I've reached right now, up to like the level that I'm at. That's how I am. That one you can't get like anywhere else. But again, these headphones you can buy them. If you need the headphones, just holler. Right? But nah, this one I can't give away. Like this one I use them. When they say like this one don't have a price, when they say everything has a price, I don't think these ones have a price. Because they have me like I'm the price now. Like I don't put pricing on my shit because I know the type of level and dedication and time it took for it to be acquired and everything. So who is actually the prize? It just measures like how much of a ladder that I've climbed on for me to be able to like to get this one here and still working and still editing them and producing like the best quality voice ever, because you may want to debate that this one is like a professional mic, but it's not. I just connected these ones because they have like inbuilt microphone with it, which makes it possible like to go on and try to look good when I'm like holding them still, even with the color now. The only color that is lacking is the yellow part, because of that I can look like a traffic light. You see, this is the red, this is the blue. Does the traffic light even have blue in it? I don't know, but it makes sense. I mean, I just thought of that. But probably if you link it to the face now, someone would say it's racism. No cares, no? It's just like a cool that you put yourself in that doesn't make sense. So just try to look at these things in a good way. But now before you look at it in a good way, you have to look at it in the most negative way possible. Just how it is. Like even like when you're quoting the Bible from like who was rejected like on his hometown. I'm not going to one side, but you just say it right now. And I'm not judging you for saying it. Like that's just something that you have given and like fed into you. So you must be able like to use it like to your advantage at least to make it make sense. If that makes sense, right? I mean, as I say, like you don't even actually need anything right now. Like you are enough, like just how you are. You are enough that way. Everything is good, like you are it. You are him. That's what I like to say. You are him. And that's it. Like you can cry all you want, but you are him. Okay. I'm him, okay. So what? I don't know, but you're just him. I mean, it sounds good to say it, like, right? I mean, you can even say it right now, like, I'm him. And that's it. Like, at times, you can even feel your skin, you can feel your body and be like, okay, I'm him. And that one just keeps you going. And that's it. And nowadays, like, the terms that I use mostly, like, the biggest, right? Because it's always the biggest. Even like when rappers are singing, they come up with these cadences and rhythms, and like they find the little pockets in the grooves that makes like the whole song stand out. Like without the groove, it will sound so generic, but with these little syncopations and you like coming up with all these the craziest things ever, it just sounds so good that that's the only thing that you needed first of all. Right. I know it makes a lot of sense, but that's just how it is. But again, you might get lost so much that you don't even need to try and like to decode everything that is being said or that is being presented to you like into the world. Like you're just so hung up in your whole world that you don't even get the chance to experience what's outside of it. Which is now, once you now start doing that, now you'll find that what you are living is actually not life, but you're actually experiencing it. It turns off after 30 hours. Oh shit. After 30 minutes, it turns off. After 30. It's on air. Of course it's on air. What do you mean? What do you fucking think this is? It's still on air. We never get out of air. I mean, let's see now. So the next time it's turning off, you're turning it off with the camera itself. like it's all like going down. All of it. It doesn't matter. Next time it's going on, it's we are going on with it. We're going off with it. Because that's stupid now. That's doing it in a way. Because now the machines too, like we created these things, so we can even like make them to and tune them how we want them to operate. That's why I say like your own responsibility for you to make it work. It doesn't matter like what you do. That's it. Like it's like the basics, right? The basics, like counting, which is the basics and the most slept on like skill right now in the world, because they're like, oh, those are like children things that they do. But actually coming to count, and then like you put in the counting as again as I say these things, like once you have something in, you can put in your shit in there just for it to make sense. Just for it to annoy yourself, right? So now you come and transcend into this whole other level that nobody can ever annoy you, so you just annoy yourself every day. Or how you want to annoy yourself, it doesn't matter. It's just you and your annoyance, nothing else. It's like being the basics and the most craziest individual that you can ever do, while still being the best and the most interesting people that know you. Because that's just how it is. Like you're just you, because if you're not you, like you're somebody else, which makes a lot of sense. But mostly just choose you, because if you are you, you are you. Like it makes a lot of sense, but it still doesn't make a lot of sense too. But it's still meaningless. But for me, I know it's meaningful because it makes a lot of sense for me. Like I can say it and sleep very nicely after. I can say it and not see anything bad about it. I can say it and just be it. Like, just wake up from it and just move on, because that's the basics. Like it doesn't even matter. That's how it is. That's the basics of it again. And I always keep on saying this. That's it. Just like be you, do you every day. is just my timepiece. Let me just put this on. That when you see me wearing like a timepiece, you can respect it and put some respect on it too. Because I know someone will be watching this video later and be like, shit, we didn't know this person exists. And it's so fresh too, like, how can you do that? All alone by you, like you just did this? I'm like, yeah, that's me, like. And you don't even get it because you never saw someone like this. So free, like to do anything, to think anything, to speak anything, talk about anything. Right, that's how it is. Just like my women, all of them, they know that this me, like that's how I speak. And you find at times too, like they don't even need the money that you have. Like they just need you, like as you are. They don't need anything from you. Like there's the way you are, you're just enough. So there's this lie that they say that you must find money, like for you to find someone. That's totally BS. Because remember again, like a life of a man and the life of a woman is very different. Because the life of a woman at a very early age, like she gets everything that she needs, right? But the life of a man, like you have to create long hours of spending, long hours of sitting down and crafting, long hours of connection. Everything that you have to do is like purely pain. But for a woman, like everything that she needs is provided because we don't like them suffering. It makes a lot of sense though, like once we look at this logically, because again, like a hard woman is like a man, because now she's just so hard. Now she's just in a feminine body, but nobody wants that in his house. Everybody just wants a soft person, like to chill with, like in the moment that you are with. Because now you're out there now fighting everybody, like you have to overcome this, you have to know, like you have to do this, you have to gain the discipline, and now you still like the person who like gives you like the most comfort still like tries to like fight you in a way. That doesn't make sense, and we know that because we try providing the best environment for them, and them too, they pay back. But just them being them, we don't need them to be anything, right? Just how we are, like, is the basics that you can tell or call and decode everything. Like that's just it. Like let her be. But for you, you must craft everything because you are God. You are the creator again. That's what I'm saying. Like you have like to run it back again every single day, like while putting this one in mind and knowing this is it. And now it also makes sense because like you can hear them like giggle in the background, like when you are doing your shit, and you're just like, no, like that's my kingdom. And then you just move on, like you just don't dwell there and say like that's my kingdom, and then you just stay there. Like that's my kingdom, so now I just sit and eat on my kingdom every day. No, create more. You created that one, so that means it's possible now. So spread it out as much as you can, because if you dwell on this, you will sleep and find yourself like not communicating value on it, or like trying to make it better as it's supposed to be every day. So what do? Every day, like just a drop of it. It doesn't even matter. Like a drop of it, it gets a long way, and the drop of a man is big. It's not that what you are being lied on the internet, getting fed daily, that you need money, that you need to act a certain way. That one doesn't matter. Like just be you. Like be true to your purpose that they want to align truly with it, without actually you getting involved, or you like them triggering, right? Your whole life for existence, which in this case is like what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter. Like I said, you guys are different. We never get to understand them in any way. So like that's why I say like we never talk of them in any way. All we say is that they are chill. I mean, we have seen their raw form, their rawest form. We have seen them because when growing up, you grew with them. You have siblings, you have sisters, you have everything. That's how it is, right? We have aunties, we have relatives, we have cousins, everybody around us. We see them and we know them, but still we don't know them. So the only thing you can know is self, right? So you know it right now. I need to eat. Okay, I'm going to eat. So what? I don't need to go to my kingdom when I know I need to eat. No, I'm going first to eat. And then while I'm in the process of going to eat, I'll find other things in between there to do. And I don't even need to come back. Like just it. It makes a lot of sense though at some point. But you have to be truly clear in your headspace for you like to know these things. That's what I'm saying. That's the basic that you can be. That's it. There's nothing else that you can be. It doesn't make sense at first, but just try to reflect this ones on later. As I said, like things hit you later in life, or maybe this message might hit you after 6 months. Who knows? That's the basics. But also it makes a lot of sense because that's it. Like you can't change like what you hear. Only what you can change is like how you perceive it and how you deal with it. That's the basics. Right? And the other day I was learning like so many languages and I just like realized that languages that you just say it backwards. Take an example of a language. Just take an example like Chinese, right? Okay, the name is Chinese, but what you actually need, let me hold this one closer here. The language is Chinese, but what you actually need is for you to like charm or for you to decode like what language that they speak in. You are first to say the language like Chinese. Now you have to find the gaps in the language, like how do you put your words or your tone into it for it to sound that way. So you can even make it like so crazy. Now when you say Chinese, you can tell it's like there's an intonation at the end of it. It's like Chinese, but now remember you say cha, so that was like volume going out of your mouth like ch. So now you have now to take it back if you want like to speak like their accent and their lingo. So you start by ch. So that's like going out cha, Chinese. So you have to be right. It makes a lot of sense. That because that's how I learned all the languages. Like I can tell, I can differentiate if it's Russian. I can know. You can tell it's Russian, so you can tell it's like it has a lot of shans, and like it's like a hiding language that it camouflages in so many languages. When you're not careful, you can actually confuse it with other languages. It's a very tricky one. You can tell by like how it is. You can tell by French, right? It's just French. It's just it. So you can tell it even has the most of the cheese and shit. So when you're talking about it, it makes a lot of sense. Right? So you decipher all these languages in a way that, in your own understanding, you feel them and you can even now compare them with the internet nowadays because it's so diverse. Don't just scroll every time. Go try learn these new things that make sense to you at time. Right? Try to understand these languages. Try to understand Spanish. Try to understand those shit. You can tell by how it is fast. But you just saying it now, so now you can talk and even bring it back again. As I said, like most of these languages you might find is two complete languages, but actually one language is actually this other one, but now said backwards now. It's like they're speaking it in backward form. But now you are used to speaking like in forward form. So now they speak in backward form, which is crazy now. And now you play with them around, and now you like know the basics of it. And now in no time, now you can speak it to anybody. You can understand it. You can actually tell what it is, because that's the most craziest thing ever. You can tell like what they actually mean without you knowing what they mean, but you can tell what they actually mean. It's a tricky part to get, but that's the basics of it. Like you first have to get like the whole process, the whole point of it, of you running and trying to bring this whole life and vibe back to you, so that now it makes like kind of a sense to you and everybody around you, so that you can try to be the one that you want in any way. You can exist in any continent, in any country, anywhere that you want. You can even decide, okay, today I'm going to live in Asia for the rest of my life, and you do that. And within no time, now you'll be speaking like their language and shit. Indian, you can speak it the way you want, because you can just tell it's Indian. You can tell there is a lot of like hammering in the words of it, is like intonation, like because they say that's how it is. So now you can just talk about how you want to talk about it, because just the basics of it, like you just saying the language, you can even tell or speak like their actual language by how they actually say it with their own accent, without you actually like coming up and being like a crazy bastard about it, right? You can just tell about how it is and how good it's moving and rotating around, which nowadays leads me to this point of if I'm actually like trying to learn somebody or something, like I actually like get all my eyes focused into it, because this is something brand new that I've never heard of. Yeah, because this one reminds me of like when I was speaking to one of my buddies, like from different tribes or something, and we were speaking about how these different views, how they are perceived, like when they go, like when they first travel into this country, like how the people felt or how they perceive them in a way. And then he was saying that it was so crazy, because they all hear like someone trying to mimic their accent too, but now they just feel nice about it, like they even enjoy it. So you find themselves even speaking more. So now if you like you have an accent in some level, you just know this language, and now you move to a completely different place, like you perceive different now. You even like elevate like your skills, even your connection, your everything, because now someone like permanently like knows you by this language, and now they can even call you and like put like a seed in their mind at times, because they say like once he moved out of there, like out to there, that's what I mean, like he even like climbed his social mobility ladder, like just like that, just by him being him, by putting in the work, by enjoying, by not looking at it as like discrimination or anything, but mostly like him trying to be better and everything, like him like just being him. I know it sounds a bit big, but I truly love to have converse with people at times, because it also opens up my good understanding, my whole perception of everything. So now it's like a whole crayon. Like these are crayons, so now each one has a different color of it. So it's you know to paint each one that you want. Like it's you to choose now. Because again there are so many. You can this is an empty slate. I'm talking about life now. So you can take it and color each one that you want. Color coding is your own, right? Now to understand colors, the best matching colors, just use chords in music. That's how it is. The music chords are the best thing that you can use right now to understand like the whole life, the whole character, like how you want to put it in a way. So that now forever will always be that one person that does this in a way that makes sense, but still in a way that you actually know and believe what you're truly saying. Well, at times you might be perceived as different, but I mean, they are used to their normal, they're used to themselves. So, how can they perceive something different away from them when they are not actually them that they want to perceive, right? It makes a lot of sense, but once you start thinking of it in those terms, it's the craziest thing ever you can do, right? Because I don't know why I was just told you this thing that's making stories, right? It makes a lot of sense to me, but it feels good too, like being in the moment and everything. Just existing, doing this, doing that, which you can do like every single day. That's crazy now. That's how now we have come. That's how far it is now. That's the craziest now. This is it now. This is like what you have been looking for. This is like the change, this is the revolution that is there. You can even like cry or try to come into it and try to climb it in a way that it doesn't affect you or anybody around you, but it actually makes sense to a way, right? It's so crazy that you have to think of it that way. Like it's the basics. So yeah, I think I need this thing now to be over now. Like I have nothing else to say. Because if I keep on saying, yeah, I might not stop and I might talk like for hours without quitting or anything. Because that's just it. Like there's the beauty of it. And there's this other part of it now. Without even thinking of it, right? It's so good. And still so profound, like for you to have it. That it's like hits you differently later, so that at least you know that you have something to look up to while still building on other better things, because there's like the core foundation, like there's the background of it which makes it look great, like on your own, or like when you're doing things like for you to acquire like a certain level that you want. Like it can be anything that you want, which is crazy now. Because now you can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't matter, because I don't even know. Sometimes I even find myself speaking things and then I'm like, what do I even mean by that? But it makes sense because it actually like sounds a bit mad. But actually they're like, why are you so mad about it? I'm like, it's not actually being mad. It's actually like you perceiving it as mad, because I don't know where you heard it again from, because this is not mad that you're hearing it. Right? This is something now that you're trying to decipher it and tell me now that's mad. So that now you can silence me and be like, okay, now when I speak now, I know that I'll always be speaking mad to you. So I will not speak now. But that's not it now. That's not how we perceive it. We as artists, so we like try to move on from everything. That's why we are still so the greatest innovators, and we come out here, we give out your stories now that you told us that you are, and now we put them in a story for ourselves. Now we monetize it, make money of it, like we make everything expensive, we make everything look good, we make everything so challenging, we make everything in a kind of a good way that is still crazy but still annoying, because I will even like I can even shut up, right? I can even shout like at some point, because it's the attention that we need. right? Like it needs like a certain jump to it for it to like sound unique in a way. This is something new that you never had somewhere else, so you can craft it as you want. As I said, it's like a crayon. You have to paint it. This is like an empty canvas. So it's you now, depending on how creative you are. Now you're handed everything now. It's just you putting the work. It doesn't matter. Nowadays, social media, that's the new culture now. Now you have to belong somewhere. But now for this one doesn't belong. This one is unique. That's why people raise brands with it. People buy and sell things with it without actually being involved in it. But actually them like just enjoy, just like being there. Just there, like it doesn't make sense. So you can even call anything that you want, but that's just it. That's like the basics of trying to counter or count or to achieve like a certain level of nowadays there's this word called like nonchalance or everything, but it's like mostly misused word that people still don't get about it. It's not that someone doesn't like to talk. It's just that someone acts in a certain way depending on the situation that they are in. But now, come on this other side, now you see just that one doesn't exist because it's just people like being there naturally. It doesn't matter, and it will never matter anyway, like how it is or what it is perceived as, because that's just it. Like you can call all you want, you can cry all you want, but it's the basics again. Remember, it's the basics of it all. But now you just like try and play with it for it to make sense. If that makes sense too. Like it actually doesn't need anything once you think of it, right? It's just like you being in the moment, like enjoying like what you put up as the slate is. And again in music, there's something called tempo, right? Tempo is the timing that you use, like something that you tap your foot to for you like to count and like stay in rhythm, not in rhythm, like for you to stay in the grid, right? So you just, and now once you stay in the grid, now you sound too robotic now. You sound like AI kinda. But now with the right source, with the AI now, you can even make it be more even polite and more alive than you would make naturally. Because nowadays that's how it is. Nowadays nobody's making beats from scratch anymore. People are using AI with the knowledge that they have and the feeling that they feel like, because they're able to craft this feeling from within, so that they prompting what they will need in the AI. And now AI delivers with no mistakes or no nothing. And it's just it. It comes to life. It's the beauty of it. You don't even need to craft it. It gives you suggestion now. That's how advanced now it has become. Like, and remember again, AI doesn't tire. AI will not sleep after a long day of working. AI will still be on there. So this is a chance like to utilize it so good that it works 24/7 for you. I mean, a good example is like YouTube. Videos are there 24/7. There's no one who's there like always like trying to decipher what you have to say about it. It is just you being you. That's how it is. And like you have to be so good at looking at things that it makes sense, like in your own way too. That you don't actually need someone like to be like your best look out for. That's how it is. Like you just exist. Everything is okay. Just be in the fucking moment, right? That's the basics. And you can tell that this is it by how like you move around to people and how people move around you. It can sound like a bit kind of tacky, a bit kind of old school, but trust me, it's the old school that pays. It's the old school that is still there. There's nothing like the new school. It's the internet that lied to you that right now is the now it's the new school now. It's actually not the new school. It's still the old school now, like um perceived or like prompted like differently. It makes a lot of sense, but you have to be so good for you to look at it for what it really is, so that you can actually enjoy it like in the best format that you want. And I say this like straight up, like, and again, like you can just like do this on a daily without actually needing or feeling the pressure from outside or anything. Like it's just you being you, which makes a lot of sense at some point. That's it. You can't even do anything about it, but rather than enjoy it. So that's the basics without actually needing anything else. Like you just being you, and that's it. You can go count, you can go sing, you can go shout, you can go. It's your life. You're free to do anything. So don't get so boxed up by someone or by what someone said about you, but you actually know yourself. So every time to just move, every time. That's how it is. Every time do move, every time you are looking at something like just how it is most of the time. So everything that you are just saying about me, it doesn't matter, it doesn't reflect to me. Like you say to me, I reflect a mirror there. Like I remember like animation that I used to watch earlier, that he called Ben 10. There was this one character that he had, that the character used to fly, and then someone would shoot like the rays or the laser into the character, and now the character would open up like in the head part, and now there would be something like a reflective mirror, and now the rays would hit here, and they would bounce back to the character, and now it hit it back, and now it loses control in the mid-air, and now it falls down, and now that's done. That's like a win now. Now remember, they're all flying. Now they go there, they try, now they fight in these all other things. And remember now the villain fights so many roaches around that the villain doesn't become villain by fighting one person. That's why the villain is always alone. You never find two villains like in a movie, like in Hollywood form. You can never find them. It's only one villain being fought by everybody else, and he's the main character. And most of it nowadays, you never see the villain die. You might see him lose. Unlike Thanos is the only villain like who won. It makes a lot of sense, which is crazy. I'm not considering like the other horror movies that are there, because of course the villain, they are always villains, but in a good way that is not a villain too. Like he takes care of everything. He makes everything is in check. He makes sure everything looks good too. Like everything moves and like sounds, and everything is realistic. Like they put the real fear in you, right? So now that's why you perceive them as that, and everything is like actually created scene by scene, word by word, move by move, setting by setting, for it like to give you the clear image of it. That's why you cannot hate the villain in the movie, but he's the only one that makes sense there, like considering all these other ones. Yeah, that's why it's crazy. Like I'm saying that you just need like to not give a shit about the noise outside. Like just keep on going, because that's how it is. I mean, noise comes and fades out. it fades in and fades out. So when you're used to fading and fade out, you're not checking like what's the center now, because once it fades in, there's a moment where like the noise is on top, and now when this fades out is when now it just fades out. So it's a curve, but for you, the constant is something that hitting you like the Great Wall of China, right? Something that's just so big that it's just always there. You didn't know who made it, you didn't know what year it was made. I mean, now that one, like, I might dive back into the history and like know all of it, and like come and decipher and like edit it into to the psychology that makes sense now to me, if that's the case. But it's so crazy that that's just it. That's just it. Nothing else. If it's it, it's it. You can't like try to sway it around or try to move around it in any fucking way. Like you just need to be you and like enjoy, do this thing. I don't know. I don't know. I need to go now. It's around, I have like 5 minutes left. Around 5, 10 minutes. I don't know. Somewhere there. Like it's not much, but it's somewhere there. But that's it. I have nothing else not to say, because that's how just life is perceived, and that's how like you speak to yourself, and just how you motivate yourself. You don't like motivation, you just want to keep on going, but you just don't know how to keep on going. So it's like a blueprint to you. It doesn't matter, like whatever you're thinking, everybody is thinking too. So what makes you special? Like what makes your thinking special? How can you even color it in a way for it to make sense to you? Well, you're still enjoying it. I mean, meeting like the other parts of it is the craziest part, because it's all the shame that they try to put you in. It's the shame that they try to control you with. It's the lack and iniquity that they try to control you with. It's the refusal that they tell you no, so that they can hold you back first. Now the process that you're holding you back is like a charging ego. Now, as I say, like puts its hind legs so strong and anchored that you can push front for it. But now don't just accept to be pushed now, right? Sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you just have to be you. Like it's crazy. It's crazy once you think of it that way. It doesn't even like come like for it to make sense, or like for it to be banned by anything or by sound. I mean, it's so crazy. Like it doesn't even need to come right now. It can come later, like in 10 years time, right? Like if you are looking at yourself right now, because right now I'm like 23. Like in 10 years time, that's 33. That's crazy. Yes, I didn't even think of it, because we even thought that we'd get here. Like just the other day that I was just like chilling there like a teenager now. It's like I'm grown now. You can even tell by the softness of the skin, the fairness of the shit, everything. Even the silkiness of the clothes came into like it's so crazy. Even the timepiece, you see, the measuring of the timepieces also came to, everything became elegant in the time and the making of it. So that's how it is. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't even show anything. It doesn't get anything out of it. It doesn't do anything. This is not a motivational video or anything. It like if you feel that way, you just needed motivation. If you needed it to enjoy, you just needed someone to cheer you up. If you needed just to watch it for the sake of it, which I barely doubt, because humans are controlled by emotions and perceptions of themselves. I probably like mentioned you somewhere, so check on that. but don't let it stress you in any way. You're good. I mean, if you didn't click the video, you'll still be good. So why should you like come here and like trying to hate on this? Because which I barely doubt that someone can hate on themselves. Nobody hates on themselves. So that's it. That's it. That's the only thing that I can say right now. You don't need anything else. Like I don't need anybody to watch my videos because like, you could be making your own or probably doing other things because after this I'm going to do my other things. So I don't know anything really. Like I just decided to put the camera on, but now because now I've seen people support it, so that means they enjoy it. So by now I may be a comedian to someone, right? I may be coming here to cure boredom for someone. I might be giving ideas to someone. I might be like creating an environment for someone to thrive in and like bring this shit whole out as they're supposed to. Because as I look back, like one of the greatest like people that I looked up upon, like they were just doing it for themselves. You can even tell by how they enjoyed it, by how like they conducted themselves when they were doing it. Everything like how neat the job was, like how organized they were, like to achieving a certain level of them being them, to like just overall like just purely existing within this, which is so crazy. That's how you become now. That's how big it became. So yeah, I need to end this